Welcome to Flashback Tracks. Travel back in time each Friday to an era of big hair, leg warmers, and Walkmans.
Far out.
Veg out with some clips from Downtime Broadcasting's promotional audio cassette magazine from the 80s and 90s, right here on the World Wide Web.
The following article is reprised with permission of Incentive Magazine and is entitled The Art of Motivating Spouses by Michael Gates.
It's a well-known fact in motivation circles that dealers aren't the only ones incentive campaigns need to reach. Spouses, husbands, wives, or significant others often make the difference between an incentive thrust that sends everyone into overdrive or a campaign that grinds to a halt, and it takes true artistry to craft the right spousal angle. One great way to get salespeople and dealers striving for goals is to target the program's announcement, teasers, and final rewards toward their better halves, the people who will help devour their just desserts. The days when men were men, meeting, golfing, and schmoozing, and women were women, sightseeing, shopping, and museum hopping are long gone. Take a no-slack economy that requires 2 income earners per household, add the decline of leisure time, and you get a formula for mayhem on the home front. One can't even take for granted that couples are actually married to each other anymore, and in some cases that they are even of different genders. If spouse motivation has become more complicated, it certainly hasn't grown less important. Donald Iannarelli, Marketing Vice President for CRC Industries in Warminster, Pennsylvania, finds it difficult to imagine mounting an incentive effort that wouldn't include spouses. For purposes of our programs, I wouldn't consider doing it without them, he says.
Spouses are very important because they are partners in achieving the reward, notes Ann Wald Graham, co-owner of incentive travel firm Gallagher Wald Incorporated in New York. Why do some companies, when they interview top executives for jobs, want to interview their spouses as well? It's the same reason. They're a team. Wald Graham's is a point often echoed. The after-hours support that spouses provide can mean the difference between dealers hitting goal or sleeping on the couch. And being recognized in front of one's spouse or companion for a job well done is a naturally emotional apotheosis for many people, one reason why companies like to have significant others around for recognition ceremonies. I think the spouse definitely can have a significant impact, says Marilyn Murphy, president of Creative Travel Planners of Woodland Hills, California. The dealer might be bored with going to Hawaii again, but the spouse might say, "Oh, come on, we need a break." It's always important. Most of these awards are taken jointly. If the spouses are as motivated as the dealers, it's logical that they will push or prod them into achieving the goal. Particularly now, with more 2-income families, it's important to motivate both. Say you're offering them a trip to Tasmania. It's likely the spouse will have to arrange time off, so you have to make sure it's attractive to him or her as well, Murphy notes.
Adds Wald, spouses will push for it, not only for the trip itself, but to get together with people they met on previous trips. The rule of thumb, according to Arnold Light, president of the A.H. Light Company, a New York-based incentive travel concern, has become motivate the spouse and he or she will motivate the participant. There are many ways to do just that during an incentive thrust. Start with the program's announcement. Sources recommend that spouses be included in the kickoff meeting. Continue their involvement through mailings during the qualification period and even extend it to activities at the award destination itself. The key is heating up spouse interest early and stoking it throughout the campaign. Doing all this means contacting the spouse directly. In other words, mailing information about the program and reward to the dealer's or salesperson's home, a strategy almost universally recommended by motivation experts. Anybody who isn't sending mailings directly to the home isn't very smart, comments Wald Graham. It's absolutely crucial to get that promo piece into the home, agrees Light. And if you have the names, most experts say, there's usually no reason not to address mailers to spouses directly. But in some cases, when trying to motivate independent dealers or distributors, for instance, mailing to the home becomes impractical. Mailing to employees' homes can be effective, and if I were dealing with a large force of our own salespeople, I might do that, says CRC Industries' Iannarelli. With our independent distributors, however, that might be overstepping our bounds, and we don't have access to home addresses and spouse names.
Travel back in time with us next Friday as we share more clips from the 80s and 90s on another rad episode of Flashback Tracks, exclusively on Promo Corner. Time to bounce.